Hi everybody. I have a gentleman with me called Richard. He, yeah, okay. He's telling me to call him Richie. He's from the United States, and he is telling me that he's from the Bronx, and he said that he's yes. All right, okay. He's telling me that he had to. He says that he's telling me that everybody thought he had to fight every day and things like that, but he didn't. He says no, it wasn't like that really. He says the name conjures up all sorts of um, ideas, and he says it wasn't like that really. He says once everybody knew each other, he says everybody grew up with each other. He says and everybody avoided who they needed to avoid. He says and I was okay. Yes, he's telling me he was okay. Right, okay. He's telling me that he did a bit of boxing, but he always wanted to be a cowboy. And he says I did go to Montana. He says and I did. He says this is going out for his mum Celia. He did go to Montana and became a cowboy, but he says it didn't sound right. He says you got somebody with a Bronx accent, thank you. And he says he didn't sound right. He says I learnt to ride. He says my behind, I'll say behind. He's very blunt, bless him. Was red raw. He says but he says I kept going and kept going. He says I did become a cowboy, but he says he just didn't want to go back home. His mum used to write him every day. She could never ever. Oh right, okay. She actually said to him one time, "Next time I'll put your letter on some tumbleweed, and it'll get to you." That was a thing that she said to him, and he says he did it for 7 years. Okay. When he came back, he couldn't cope with the way of life anymore, as in city life, and he got no money to. All right, he's saying I wouldn't have been able to get my horse into the apartment, and yeah, right. He couldn't adjust back to being closed in, and he felt claustrophobic, and he wanted to go back to Montana, but his mum was not very well at the time. He says she's okay now, and everything just got on top of him, and eventually it got to the stage where he started getting depressed, and he got photographs of him as a cowboy, and he really just couldn't cope with it anymore, and they tried to put him on medication, and he wasn't having it, and it just went down and down and down. He says, and my troubles felt more than they were. He says they felt bigger than what they were. And he says, in the end, he says, I just took myself to Brooklyn Bridge, and that was it. I jumped off. And he says, I'd rather have done that. He says, he's saying sorry to his mum, but she understood. And she used to say, Richie, it's your life. And that was it. She was a very understanding mother, and he thanks you for giving him the best that you could with the little that they had, and that's what he just told me to say. But now he says I'm on the wild. I'm in the wild spaces now. He says, and I'm happy. He does come round here on birthdays and Christmas, and he says that he always leaves a kiss on your pillow. That's what he's told me to say, and he's saying, please don't think any less of me, and I love you always. This is, and that's difficult for me to say. And on that note, he is pulling away, and yeah, oh bless you, thank you. Yeah, he's pulling away now, so I'd just like to say to everybody, thank you so much for joining us, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.